It is still going on, right?
Yes, sir.
You're still involved with her. In fact, you suggested that everybody just get together for drinks last night here in town. Did you go for that?
No.
You didn't?
I didn't.
Well, I'm asking because you've apparently been fairly flexible with all of this. Okay, now I want you to hear some of the things that you've told. You probably said these to her, but I wrote down some of the key things that I thought give us your point of view, and I assume you're willing to own it since it is your point of view. You said, what man wouldn't want a wife and a girlfriend?
I'm sure, yeah, I said that.
You know, a lot of men would think that one's enough.
Well, it is. I guess on that note, it was kind of, I feel, we have children, and I feel I have an obligation. Then I have the other woman that I fell in love with, and I was just trying to make the best of
So she
both
could
worlds.
run the house and take care of the kids, and then this other woman you would have for like sex and outings and travel and that sort of thing. So you'd be kind of like the help.
Right.
Okay. You said Chrissy would basically be the mom and housemaker. This other woman would be everything else. So you could mother the kids and keep the house. She would do everything else. It'd be like having two different cars. You have a weekend car and a weekday car.
Yes, that's
Okay.
That's what I said.
And you said she expects me to just quit, to stop, but that would be like someone saying, cut off one of your arms. I don't want to cut off one of my arms.
Right.
Right?
With Chrissy, in the past year, she's tried a lot more to be a better wife, just be more receptive and corresponding to my needs and stuff. But I already have deep feelings for another person, and I think she just said, well, if I start being this better wife, just push her to the side like it's just a tin can or something. But it's, it's
So
hard.
she's raised her game and arrogantly expected you to react to that by cutting off this other woman.
Immediately, yes.
No, let me go on here. You said, Chrissy expects me to just quit. It'd be like cutting off one of my arms. You said, quote, I was told at one time marriage was a three-part relationship, husband, wife, and God. Well, mine's three-part, but it's husband, wife, and girlfriend. I guess somewhere God must have just fell out of the picture. I had Tammy. She was my ray of light. At one time, Chrissy was that ray of light, but you just kind of burned out.
Yep.
My children are really sheltered from this. They're not affected by this, to be honest, right? Do you really believe that?
Our son knows something about it.
Well, didn't a friend's mother tell him he couldn't go over and play at your son's house just recently because Daddy has a girlfriend and they just didn't think that's what they wanted to expose him to?
How was it stated?
We live in a very small town, so you can only imagine. But yes, everyone knows of Scott and his girlfriend.
Well, that's...
Okay, let me go on. Chrissy, you said, quote, Chrissy's stuck with the kids at home, which just made it easier for me to see this other woman.
It did give me a lot of opportunity to,
Because you're stuck at home with
our children.
your kids, okay.
Yes.
I began to become a pretty good liar.
Nothing I'm proud of. I mean, it's...
Yeah. I mean, I love Chrissy, and I love this other woman, but the love is different. You can love a dog.
No, I was...
Did I read that right?
No, yeah, well, what it was, I was asked, who do I love more? Do I love Chrissy more, or do I love my girlfriend more? And then I said, well, that's kind of a tough question. I said, you can have love, it's different. I have different feelings for both women. I said, you can love a dog, you can love football, you can love your child. And in each, I feel it's just different types of love. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's...
Okay, what's the love that you have for your wife here, the mother of your children? Would that be dog love, football love, what? Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.